Hey guys, so we're gonna do a reading, and kind of sitting here tonight. I was kind of planning on doing this, but definitely after seeing little bits of the some of the debate, I was like, yeah, I need to do this. But it was very interesting. I was kind of sitting there. I took a nap after work. I got up. I swear, work just gets me days. Getting up early and doing my thing. But was kind of looking around on the news, getting seeing what's going on, checking my YouTubes and all that, and I came across a blast from the past, a kind of it was a gentler time. It was reminiscent, and I was like, you know, it seems so long ago, so far away, when the world wasn't like this in America. That it seemed like maybe we were getting better. Maybe we weren't perfect. We had a lot of problems, but we were getting better. We were being decent, more decent to each other. Not like now, okay. And if it come on, we know people were just being a little bit better. Okay, a lot better than this. Ever since Trump. Okay. So I came across this vid, and I'm like, you know what? Before I do this read, because we're going to read Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert as they're running. They're running for House, they're running for their congressional districts. I can't even say it. And I know some of you guys, that they're ladies that get a lot of attention. Marjorie Taylor Greene a little bit more than Lauren Boebert, though she gets in there. They're very similar, obviously. They're very much, they want Christian nationalism. They're all for it. They're all for Christian nationalism. They're all for this trendy, buffed out, that squatting and deadlifting Jesus with muscles, holding guns. They're all for that. Blonde hair, blue eyed Jesus. you know, they're all for this stuff. They all dispute, that the election, they say it was rigged, with Trump. They're all QAnon, all that stuff, and they're running. And somebody elected them last time, and here we are again. So it's going to say a lot if they get elected again. It really is. If you watch my prior read, I did kind of talk about that. It looks like the Senate is probably going to go red, and the House is probably going to go blue. Is kind of what it's looking at least at the moment. It's a tough one to read. You're talking about a lot of elections and trying to get in the heads and mind of all of America. It's not an easy read to do, but it's kind of what it's looking at, unless something changes and we get out there and vote and all that stuff. How strong will women come in? But we got to remember there are still Republican women out there and all this stuff. And I wish oh my God, I wish they would, understand what is happening and what can happen to them if they, just let people take our rights, take the rights away. They, and that's why I keep saying, look at the women of Iran. Don't think that, like if all this Christian nationalism, all this stuff, do not think, that can't be us. And I know a lot of people that, oh no, they wouldn't put stuff on our heads, and maybe we wouldn't have to wrap our heads, but you would have control of your body. You might not be able to vote. And even, and think about it, ladies, I mean, it's, 100 years we've had the right to vote. It's not that long. That's not a long time. There are actually people, alive at a time when women can vote and women to have rights. And also in churches, there are preachers, there are pastors who are saying that women should not have a right to vote. Matter of fact, I can probably find one right now on YouTube. Let me see. Preacher who says women should not vote. I know I can find one. Just watch. I got two. Here's one. Yep, there he is. I told you. There's this guy, Pastor Anderson, whoever that is. But yeah, he says, women don't belong in the workplace, and women shouldn't vote. Let's check it out. You don't believe me? And I know you're like, oh, that's only one. No, honey, no. Look how many churches there are. Okay, and I know these guys get airplay and stuff, but I've talked about it. Women get in the kitchen with, why women must be silent in church. There's some. Let's look at it. This is what's coming. So if you by chance are like, you know what? I'm a Republican woman, but I'm going to look and see what this tarot reader is going to predict because I want to see if Marjorie Taylor Greene and Boebert is going to win. Okay, this is what's coming for you. Okay, so let's look at this guy. Yeah, this is the one. He says, you know, no voting, no having a job outside the home.
It says that they should be keepers at home. They should be good.
Pastor
and then it
Anderson.
says they should be obedient to their own husbands. Now, how often do you hear that preached today? Well, if you come to Faithful Word, you hear it all the time. But if if you go somewhere else, you don't hear it so much. But that's what the Bible says. You know, you say, well, that's that old-fashioned idea. Today we have women's rights. We've come a long way, baby. And today, those horrible, horrible days when women had no right. Right, let's bring them back. Let's get back to those days. What are you so worried about? What do you think they mean when they say women's rights? You know what they mean? The right to divorce your husband is what they mean. You know what they mean? The right to rebel and disobey your husband, the right to divorce him, the right to go out and get a job and make your own money, the right to tell him what to do, the right to go vote for our leaders as if women should have any say in how our country is run, when the Bible says that I suffer not a woman to teach nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. I am quoting the Bible right now, but it's old-fashioned. Why do you think that women were not allowed to vote until the 20th century? And yet if I get up and say I don't believe women should vote, because if we're in a democracy which is ruled by the people, I don't want to be ruled over by women. And when the founder of our nation, John Adams, one of the key founders, one of the authors of the type of government that we have in the Constitution and the bicameral legislature and all of it, the one who laid that out, his wife told him, hey, you need to put something in there that women should be allowed to vote. And he said, you know what? He said, I'm not going from the tyranny of England to the tyranny of women ruling over me. He said, I'd rather have England rule over me. I'm paraphrasing. But, that, he said something like that, okay?
Of course he did, yeah.
Look it up. He said something similar to that.
You hear people laughing. I heard women laughing at that. Was it nervous laughter or was it real? But yes, no, there are people here. Here's let's see, a little. He gets a lot of attention. Now I think I've already played this one for you. Tell women to get in the kitchen. I think I played that one before. Here's how I currently understand the Bible saying women to be silent in church. Trying to kind of twist it on there's so much in here. There should a woman preach? Oh, here's one. How about let's look at this one. Oh, I think I remember this one. Missouri pastor tells women to lose weight for husbands. Okay, how about that? Maybe they'll make a law that if you, and he's a chubby boy. Watch when you see how chubby he is. Now, and hey, I'm not trying. I got a little, but seriously, he's a chubby man telling women to lose weight. Watch this, hypocrites. This is no joke. This is really happening. Christian nationalism. Is this what you want? God, if you're a Republican woman, you better pay attention. Hold on, get this. Oh, God. How we got?
Everyone turning up.
He got suspended. Should have been fired.
Your man needs an attractive wife. Why is it so many times that women
see how chubby he is?
let themselves go? Hockey player said, he said, I married a trophy wife, but now she looks like the Stanley Cup. You see what I'm talking about? That's what I'm talking about. All right?
You see that pudgy? See that stomach? He ain't good.
Now look, I'm not saying every woman can be the epic trophy wife of all time, like Melania Trump. I'm not saying that at all. Now, most women can't be trophy wives, but you know, like her, maybe a participation trophy. I don't know, but all I can say is not everybody looks like that. Amen. Not everybody looks like that. But you don't need to look like a butch either. Hey, sweatpants don't cut it all the time. Huh?
A butch.
Wearing flip-flops and pajamas to Walmart, that ain't gonna work. Ain't nothing attractive about that. It ain't. And men want
I'm not looking at George Clooney, honey.
Good at home and in public. Can I get an amen?
Where's my Jason Momoa preaching? Are you Jason Momoa? Amen. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, he wants to sit there and talk about people's appearance looking like that. I mean, he didn't. Is his shirt tucked in? Okay, his shirt isn't tucked in, and he wants to tell women, okay, that you shouldn't wear flip flops and be going to Walmart looking rough. Okay, excuse you. Excuse. Where do I need to play? Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Oh, even my Siri is getting involved. Yes, this is where we're at, people. You want this baby Huey telling you, what are we gonna do? Is he gonna outlaw flip flops? Okay, this is no joke. This is men, Christian nationalist type people, talking crap about women, and you see him. He's a big fella. He's eating good. He's eating good. He's eating his Captain Crunch in the morning, I'm sure. Okay, I'm sure. And his pizza and wings at night. He's, and so I'm sure. And then he wants to talk about a woman's appearance and needing to be a trophy, or at least as close to Melania Trump as possible. I know everybody can't be like Melania, but let's, at least get a participation trophy. Let's do something. At least try to be like her. What the fuck is happening here? And you want Christian nationalism? This is the way they're talking about women. And I know, these are ones, yes, are they, vocal and everything? Absolutely. But there's all kinds, of stuff, that there's so many. Women shouldn't be preaching. Women shouldn't, oh Lord, there's so much. There's so much in here and stuff. And, Greg Locke, he's talking about everybody. He's got, I like Greg Locke when he if you watch some of his videos and stuff, he got real upset because he's always accusing the congregation of witches being in it, and apparently somebody got wind of it messing with him and was sticking tarot cards around in his little church tent. I thought that was great. That's good. Sticking, little tarot cards and everything. But yeah, they're, a matter of fact, this is him, right? Okay, so this is on MSNBC. Look at some of this craziness, but he's popular. Believe it or not, people like him. That's the scary thing. And stuff. And this guy, and he accuses people of being witches, and this is what's coming, and these ladies are all for it. And see, the crazy thing is these women want Christian nationalism. They want to vote for it, but yet they're in power positions. But if the men could have their way, they take that power all away from them. So what are they supporting here? Which is the crazy thing. Oh, let me vote and take away all women's rights and make it a Christian nation and all this, and all the women get back in the kitchen and all that. What about you ladies? What do you think they're going to do to you? Except you think you're going to be no, it's going to be all men. It's going to be all white men in the House and Senate. But yeah, let's look at Pastor Greg Locke. This is a little bit on MSNBC.
Chase Payment Solutions
just
provides
talking Christian nationalism crap.
Card payments anytime.
Donald Trump and smite his enemies.
Church of
There was a
State.
lot
This
of
is they're
brand
trying.
of Christian ideology on display that day. Before marching to the Capitol, members of the far-right, violent Proud Boys knelt in the street and prayed in the name of Jesus to restore their, quote, value systems and to give them divine protection in what they were about to do. In the crowd attacking the Capitol were crosses and signs saying things like Jesus 2020 and Armor of God. Some told reporters they were there to join a fight of good versus evil. And when insurrectionists broke into the Senate chamber, in addition to rifling through senators' papers and scrawling messages to Vice President Pence, they prayed.
Jesus Christ, we invoke your name. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for giving the inspiration needed to these police officers to allow us in this building, to allow us to exercise our rights, to allow us to send a message to all the tyrants, the communists, and the globalists that this is our nation, not theirs.
Yes.
That we will not allow the American way, and the United States of America to go down. Thank you for allowing the United States of America to be reborn. Thank you for allowing us to get rid of the communists, the globalists, and the traitors within our government.
They thought they had it. They thought they had it, and they almost did, to be honest.
The problem isn't that the January 6th insurrection and Trump's whole demagogic movement are imbued with Christianity, one of the world's great religions. No. Remember, the United States House and Senate have chaplains who are Christian and deliver prayers every day. And the night before January the 6th, Reverend Raphael Warnock, the longtime pastor at Atlanta's Ebenezer Baptist Church,
the one
was
running
elected
against Herschel
senator from
Walken.
Georgia. Reverend Warnock and the chaplains are perfectly capable of being very Christian and also existing very happily.
Very interesting.
within
It was
the
him,
multi-faith
huh?
and
Remember?
multi-ethnic democracy represented by the United States Congress. None of them are storming the Capitol. No, this particular brand of Christianity that is linked up with the Trump movement is a different kind of thing. Christian nationalism. The belief that the United States should be ruled by Christians and by a certain narrow interpretation of evangelical Christian values is not a new thing. The journalist Michelle Goldberg wrote a book about the rise of Christian nationalism back in 2006. But what's new is the fusion of that ideology with the potent political movement of pro-Trump, stop-the-steal election denialism. Evangelical leaders preaching
And
to
that's
their
what these two
congregations
ladies are
the
about.
stolen election and praising the January 6th attack as a righteous revolution to restore America. It's also about the fusion of religion and race, too. A poll released in November by the Public Religion Research Institute found that 60% of white evangelical respondents believed the 2020 election was stolen, a far higher share than other Christian groups of any race. The journalist Sarah Posner has written a book on how white Christian nationalists powered Trump's presidency. She put it in this way in an essay this week for Talking Points Memo, quote, "A movement that elevated Trump to messianic status was able to convince millions that satanic forces had robbed God's man in the White House of his anointed perch as the restorer of America's white Christian heritage. Their duty as patriotic spiritual warriors was to go to battle on his behalf." Need an example of what that battle looks like even now? Perhaps you've seen this viral clip of Tennessee pastor and January the 6th attendee Greg Locke this week.
I'm to the place right now, if you vote Democrat, I don't even want you around this church. You can get out. You can get out, you demon. You can get out, you baby butchering election thief. You cannot be a Christian and vote Democrat in this nation. I don't care how mad that makes you. You get pissed off as you want to. You cannot be a Christian and vote Democrat in this nation. They are God-denying demons that butcher babies and hate this nation. Bunch of devils. I'm sick of it. They want to talk about the insurrection. Let me tell you something. You ain't seen the insurrection yet. You keep on pushing our buttons, you low-down sorry compromisers. You God-hating communist America, you'll find out what an insurrection is, because we ain't playing your garbage. We ain't playing your mess. My Bible says that the church of the living God is an institution that the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And the Bible says that we'll take it by force. That's what the Bible says.
Yep. I know. Wow. It's hard to believe.
Let me ask you this.
Hard to believe. That is a wow. That is a wow. Yes. So, I know. Now, he certainly gets a lot of criticism and a lot of reacts on YouTube. And I definitely, I follow some people who, like when he says, certain things. And some of the shit, it's like, on one hand, God, it's so laughable. It's so ridiculous. Like I said, the witches, when he's calling out the witches in his church. And getting upset about the tarot cards, and he's exercising all this shit and stuff, and just but this is really happening. This is things that they are saying, and they're so bold, they're sticking it on YouTube's. Okay, that's the way women shouldn't vote. Women should clean. Women should clean and take care of the house, and there's a whole lot that women should be preaching in church. Women should be silent. So much stuff on here that I know it's hard to believe. Now this one, I believe this is the one I played for you guys on one of my vids. I don't think you've seen it on one of my political videos. So.
Christian preacher goes on a rant.
Here we go.
All right?
Let's show one more and then we'll get to it.
Support Donald Trump. Now I want to show you this rant and highlight some nuances that are quite interesting. Let's go to the first video. Here it is.
We see the Nancy Pelosi's of this world. We see the Kamala Harris's of this world. We see the work that they're doing.
Women of power.
And that's why I reject women in any position of authority or leadership. You know, it makes me mad every time I drive up and down the street. There's this stupid billboard or this stupid little poster I see for like Pamela Bogus or something running for judge. And I'm thinking, what a curse unto our nation. She's a conservative. She's a Republican. Well, get in the kitchen and start making conservative sandwiches. Where in the Bible did it say that, oh, here's the virtuous woman, she's the judge? No, her husband's in the gate. Her husband's the judge. Her husband's the ruler. Her husband's in dominion. And what kind of weak man is campaigning for his wife? You lost your right to the man card, my friend. I'm Mr. Bogus. You know, I'm Mr. Pamela Bogus. Sick freak. And you know what? Why can't you run? Why can't you lead?
Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids, but I got some facts for you. His name is Pastor Jonathan Shelley of Steadfast Baptist Church. He praised the death of a spectator at a Florida Pride parade after a truck drove into the crowd. This was June 2019. He also called for the killing of people who are gay. Let me go to the next video.
Shit, I might not be able to monetize with what I'm showing you.
You an apple from the tree too? I mean, the Bible is crystal clear on who's supposed to be ruling, who's supposed to be leading, you know, and women are supposed to be obedient. They're not supposed to be in charge or telling us what to do. I mean, when a woman is the top of the free world, we're doomed. And we are like one half heartbeat away. I mean, we are one small trip away. Literally. I mean, we're one bad cough. I mean, it's just like, that is scary. That should be terrifying to all of us. And there's states where women are the governors. In this state, women are running for governor. You are an idiot if you vote for a woman.
Keep talking.
You're a fool.
Keep
you
talking.
hate the word of God.
Keep talking.
No, it's actually you who's the fool. You are the idiot. Now, the Steadfast Baptist Church,
keep talking,
where the pastor
honey.
preached against
that's what's coming.
The LGBTQ community, has now 5 days to vacate the building. Why? Because they're leasing. Wait a minute, preacher. I thought you run stuff. You talking all that and you leasing somebody else's building? Okay, they got 5 days to vacate. After the judge ruled Tuesday, the church was in violation of the terms of its lease, which include making threats and creating a dangerous nuisance. The judge issued the court order after trial. Now, remember, the pastor's talking all of this, right? He's the man. Here's his response after the judge ruled against him.
Hi, everybody. This is Pastor Jonathan Shelley from Steadfast Baptist Church, and I wanted to update people on our building situation. We received recently an adverse ruling against our church saying that we have violated our lease for what I preached, the sermons that we preached at this church, and that we have to leave our property. Now, that's going to happen maybe in a few weeks or something like that, depending on how quickly some of the documents get filed. But the ruling has been delivered, the ruling has been made, and the situation's really unprecedented. And in fact, even the enemies of our church are gloating and bragging about the fact that our church is being evicted for what we believe and what we preach. And they are actually incredulous because they believe that the First Amendment would protect us, as did everybody that's heard anything about our situation.
Preacher, you're being evicted because your dumbass violated the rules of the lease agreement. That's why you're being evicted. Your freedom of speech does not mean a private organization or private landowner does not have the right to enforce a lease, a contract that you signed, and they enforce it against you. But let me remind this preacher and those who follow him of a few things the Bible actually says. To the issue about gender and women being in positions of leadership, I want to remind this preacher that Galatians 3:28 says, and I quote, "There is neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor free, nor is there male or female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus." That's out of your book, preacher. Well, how about 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 5? It says, love. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. Love does that, preacher. 1 John 4:16. Let me remind you of that one. It's in the same book. What's love? God is love, according to John, which means love is God. Or 1 John 4:20. If someone says, I love God, and hates humanity, they are liars. If you hate others whom you see, how can you ever love God whom you have never seen?
I feel like I'm sitting in church,
Book,
an
preacher.
actual, real, decent kind of
thoughts.
church.
Yeah, it's just really wild how people feel like they can like
Let me
say
just- we
things
get
like
the idea.
this. I mean, like, come on, it's 2022. Like,
Yeah.
like literally.
Yeah, it's 2022. And I brought out Kali because, yeah, that's what's coming. That's what's coming. And that's what's happened in Iran. Okay, that people, nope. That's my warrior Kali, right? And stuff, the women of Iran. So, see, that's why I tell you guys, and stuff, as I sometimes I get a glimpse of the future, that with this stuff going on, okay, this whole Christian nationalism that people want to, that this is what the kind of stuff that is being said. Now, I know we can say, oh, the extremists, not every, so see, what you need to understand, yes, there are some that are just real bold, but there are a lot of them that they come close to saying what these people say, okay, but they might twist it just a little bit more gentler, that it's being said, but maybe not as brutal, but it's still being said. This whole suffer not a woman to teach, needs to be silent in church, this stuff, that a woman has to cover her head, that, God shines on the glory of man, the woman, any kind of shining is of the husband, all this stuff has been drilled into women. And this is why a lot of women are getting out of church, they've had it. But then there are those, and even women behind it, this whole Christian nationalism. But I keep warning and stuff that if this became, like I said, a Christian nation, and they're bleeding and inching, it's not even before they were bleeding inch. Let's just put it this way. I shouldn't even say that anymore. We're past that point. They're trying to crush in now. I mean, they're coming in hard. Before it was always trying to bleed and sneak in this and sneak in this, and now they're coming in hard. And it could happen. It could happen. And where, yes, the separation of church and state is no more, and we're under a Christian nation. And if that all happened, and the Bible is in school, all that stuff, and there's no separation anymore. Yes, women, okay, as far can you go to work, can women hold office, positions of power, all that? Could you even vote? All this. There are those who are really, like I said, I'm showing you that don't think women should vote. They don't want women having things of power. They don't want women to be able to voice the husbands. There's so much there. Okay, there are actually people who think that because women have some rights and some power, and they think that feminism is of the devil. Okay, they think this is a Democrat thing. This is of the devil thing. Or a woman to have a right over her body. Oh, that's what it right real bad. And all that. That this is why this is a big part of the the ruining of everything. Yeah, right. Okay. It doesn't have to do with all you men starting wars and shit like that, or abusing women or anything. Okay. Women have a power like walking out. I'm done, getting a divorce and going on and taking care of herself or whatever, doesn't have to do with any of that. They got tired. There's a whole lot I could say. I don't want to go too long because I could seriously do a 2-hour YouTube just on this alone. Except, but we need to get to some things here, to look at, the case Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert, a couple people that actually, they want Christian nationalism. And I'm like, ladies, do you think you would have power once that all happened? No, you wouldn't. They're just using you all. They're using you all for now, and then once it's all in there and get the way, the women, there will be no women in the Senate or the House. Okay, there'll be none of that. Now let me. I'll go ahead and show it to you, and then I'm going to get to it. There is a video I found, a TikTok. There was a young lady who was on there, and this TikTok, she's been talking a lot about the women of Iran, and I keep telling you guys, and when you see this, you'll be like, no, this could never happen in America. Okay, I know, and I know you think that, and maybe it'd take a little bit, just more inching. Okay, but if you get any kind of religion ruling, especially when those believe that women should be under a man, there's no equality, even though the one you saw the reporter show, the one scripture that there's really no gender, in Christ Jesus. It's all Christ Jesus, right? Okay, so let me kind of show you what a TikTok that I found last night, and I posted it, and yes, it's in a group on Facebook that's all for women and stuff. So hold on one second, let me find it for you guys. And I know this is a harsh vid. This is a harsh TikTok. Hopefully it's still in there. And it didn't get, here we go. Okay, so give me a moment. Beautiful young lady talking about the women of Iran. Watch this.
First of all, you have to get inside the eye of the mind.
Yep, and she's
of the
this is very.
Actually view women.
Let's just watch it.
To this clip.
Oh, it's okay. I'm gonna have. Sorry about that. Hold on one second. I'm gonna have to translate. Because it's you can't read it backwards. So hold on one second. Let me read that so we could and I'll tell you what he's saying. And read the captions. So let me do it this way, and then I'll hold it back up. Give me a moment, because you need to hear this. This is what the Ayatollah of Iran says about women, and you're not going to believe it. Hold on a minute.
For everyone that's like, I don't understand how they're treating women, girls, children in Iran like this. What is wrong with these people? First of all, you have to get inside the eye of the mind of the mullahs to see how they actually view
I'll
women.
read it to you.
Listen to this clip.
God created one more type of animal, and is women. They're just cows and sheep. They are animals. God has only created them for men to use. But God created these women to look like humans so they wouldn't frighten the men. Aside from that, women are just like cows, sheep, horses, mules.
I actually have an answer.
Yeah. So basically, that was the Ayatollah. What she was showing, a little snip, that basically women are basically akin to animals in Iran. This is what the supreme leader of Iran is teaching. Okay, that they're like cows, like sheep. They're there for men to use. Okay, they're no better than that. So think of this. He's going out in front all the country and saying this stuff about women. Okay, now let's listen to her. And so sorry about that. It had the captions, but I know it reads backwards when I hold it up.
I was just wondering if anybody else did. The answer is broad brush protection of bigotry under guise of religion. That is how. Rafra. That is how. Anytime I post anything like this, I get these scores of comments that are like, that's not my religion, that's not Islam, that's not Christianity, that's not this, that's not that. Here's the thing. In the United States, under American law, you don't actually have to subscribe to a particular organized religion in order for your religious beliefs to be protected. The government can only question the sincerity with which you hold those religious beliefs. Therefore, it is okay for a person to go out there and say that a woman is the same as a sheep, a mule, or a cow, but she was just created to look like a human so that a man wouldn't be terrified by her. That belief is protected in the United States. Now, do you want to ask me again why this is happening in 2022? Let me tell you something. There is not one book, there is not one sacred text on this earth that says that a woman is the equivalent to a mule or a cow. And if such a book exists, marg bar har kitabe ke in jumle hay eftezar tush neveshte. Literally, marg. Why is that the God that you pray to? You think that God is going to give you heaven? A God that takes delight in the suffering the rape, the execution and torture of women, you think that God is going to give you a space in heaven. I'm so tired of hearing, but my book says, but my book says, but my heart says.
No.
But my soul says, but my skin says, but my veins, my blood, my eyes, my mouth, my soul says. Does my sentience not say more about the most basic human existence than what your book says? Why don't you ask me? I bleed, I speak, I feel, I can tell you. You don't need to look it up in your book. This is why tomorrow Washington is going to look like Tehran, and this is why the day after tomorrow Tehran is going to look like Nagasaki, because you keep protecting violent bigotry under guise of religious beliefs. It is not. You need to think about who and what you are protecting, because with the rise of bigotry comes the fall of mankind, and you do not have much time left before this entire fucking planet is on fire. Think about it.
Okay, so I'm about 5%. We better get to these reads. I know this. Let's do this. Okay, so I mark this. What is today's date? It's 10/18/2022. Okay, I hope to God that 10 years from now, if this video is kind of sitting there, let's say it's sitting up, and I talked about a little bit about this stuff, that we're not in a Christian nation, and looking back, and people would be like, that lady warned us. That lady warned us. And then maybe, maybe I'm sitting in a jail cell somewhere because I'm not a Christian nationalist and I'm a tarot reader and all that good stuff, right? All that, or maybe, whatever, who knows, and stuff, or just, maybe I'm forced to marry some crusty old man and I have to cook and clean after him or some shit. But anyway, my point being is, with that, you see what she's saying? That's what I'm saying. And that's what I've been saying, and especially with what is going on in Iran and the women rising up, I'm saying you are looking at what can happen in America. And I know people, you find it hard to believe because we're always freedom, freedom, freedom. Don't be fooled with that red, white, and blue flag and all this. And don't even. They have been wanting to do this for a long time, and one of the big ways to control a country and things like that is to control the women. Okay, and then of course the races and all all that everything come after LGBTQ and all of it. But yes, control the women. Okay, take the women's power and everything like that. And it's here it comes. It's coming. And unless we do something about it, unless we stop it, unless we vote, and fight and stuff. Or like I've told you guys, that one day in the future, it's going to be your daughters and it's going to be your granddaughters going out in the street and get shot in the face and killed dead, standing up to the morality police. That's the bottom line. If you want that world, and I think, oh no, but that's Islam. This is Jesus. Oh. Okay, all you got to do is go back in history and stuff and see things, with the Catholic Church and everything. Go. What about the Aztec people? What about people Aztec? Well, they did human sacrifice. Okay, so it's okay to wipe out a whole civilization. Okay, this is, what I'm saying. Just, and of course here, the Native American, there, I could go on and 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 on, and I really could. Okay, but if people, especially, I don't care if you're a Republican woman and you're voting for these people, you are voting to lose your own damn freedom. You're voting for your daughters and your granddaughters to stand up to the morality police one day and get shot in the face. That's what it is. Okay, you got to stop the madness. You got to see like I see. Okay, and I know we can't all, maybe be 100% psychic here, but you still have some common sense and some intuition, okay, to see the writing on the wall here. Okay, you really don't have to use tarot to see the writing on the wall here, what these people are saying. If you're just observant, paying attention and dig a little bit, it's that when people are like, oh, let's go down rabbit holes, these QAnon rabbit holes about baby eaters and all this crap. Okay? No, this is the stuff that you should fear. That isn't real. It's that people eating baby. Come on. Jesus Christ. And I'm not going to say people aren't, doing weird, things. Don't get me wrong. I could do a whole video on the music industry, guys. Okay, I could do a whole video on the music industry and the weird stuff that's going on in the videos with people, with people bathed in blood and the lyrics. I could talk about that all day too. Absolutely. And stuff. But this is the real scary stuff. Just like I said, Satan comes in an angel of light. I'm not always too 100% worried about the music industry because it's kind of right before your eyes. It's those that try to pose as light and, oh, this is the best thing. We got to save America, bring back Jesus, all this. This is what they really want to do. This is what they're about. Okay, these aren't real Christian people. Okay, they're using it. They're using it for the purposes. They want power. They want control. And one of the ways to control, especially, is especially control the women and stuff. If they could get, if there's a whole lot of men, if they could take women's rights away, if they could, all of it, okay? Just like when I talked to you in the one video, about the one thing that happened, about taking all the students, remember, the ones that taking all the students and trying to get, the young girls kind of embedded, if something ever happens where you're essayed, to forgive the offender, but the boys are doing push-ups. Remember when I talked about all that? If you watch that video, it's in one of them. Okay, all this stuff is happening. Okay, so here we are and stuff, and I talked a lot. Let's get to it. I spent 40 minutes, but I'm trying so hard to warn you guys. And these midterms are important. The presidency is too, but the midterms are very important and stuff because the more each time they a step up power, building blocks of power, this is what it's going to come down to. This is what it is. So like I said, I hope this video doesn't sit here, okay, in 10 years from now, and maybe, people stumble upon it. That lady, she was doing readings, and she was warning us. And why didn't we listen to her or other people like her or other people that were talking about this, that this is something that can happen here and stuff. But people being all stupid, oh no, let me just give my rights away. Let me vote for this person who wants to take my rights away. They say they're going to help and make it better and make the crime go away and the inflation go down and all this stuff and everything. And I'm not saying we shouldn't be concerned with inflation. I know you got to eat. I know you got to have an affordable cost of living. I am 100% on board with that. I always will be. Those things are important. But there's a big thing that is real, that is coming. Okay? Shit, women, you won't even be able to drive a car if they can have it their way. Okay? You won't even be able to drive a car if they can have it their way. I'm not playing. Oh, women can't drive. They can't. They don't know what they're doing. And stuff, just whatever. Okay? What if you're in an abusive relationship? Nope, you can't have a divorce. There are countries in this world you can't divorce. And there's a whole thing about a woman wants a divorce from somebody in Iran. Good luck with that. Okay? I just don't make this 10, 20 years from now. Maybe I'm not even here. I don't know. Or maybe I'm dead and gone. And this video, and then people, oh my God, watch that. That lady was telling us, she warned us. Now this shithole country and I have no rights. I can't even work. Nobody will hire women anymore. Except we're considered mules, sheep. Okay? Here for the use for men. Okay? This is, it's so obvious, painfully obvious. Let's pull about 3 or 4 scriptures out of the Bible and try to put it in women's heads that this is the way it is because this book says so. Okay, but I love that one. That video was very powerful. But listen to me, versus your book. Listen to me, a human being. My heart, I bleed. Jesus Christ, I could scream about it. And then we got 2 dumbass women who want this, but they want power. That ain't gonna last if they got their way. They're gonna be kicked to the side. You bet. All right, so I'm gonna get up for 1 split second. And then we're going to get to these videos. Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Hold on 1 second. God, I can almost turn that into a spirit talk, but we got to get to these reads. So, we got Marjorie Taylor Greene is running against Marcus Flowers, and I'm sure some of you guys saw the debates a little bit. You know, she's trying to say, you know, she was a victim of the insurrection, yet she's behind it. Let's just get to it, guys. Let's just see, is Marjorie Taylor Greene going to win? I think you guys all know who they are and what they're about. So there's no point in showing a whole bunch of videos on them. You know what they have to say. They're about God, guns, Trump. They're both pretty much that the election was stolen. And they want Christian nationalism, you know. And Boebert, you know, she's talking about even if people want to come over this country, you know, they got to take a test on the Bible. Okay, this is what they're about, guys. So let's do, let's save the best for last, right? Haha, that's a joke. I'm going to put Marcus Flowers at the top, Marjorie Taylor Greene at the bottom. And this is saying something. We still got that whole Herschel Walker thing going on, okay, with Georgia. He's still lying. He's still flashing his badge, honorary deputy. Now, the sheriffs came out, he could have some community help, but he doesn't have police powers. Okay, which is a different thing. Community help. Anybody can help the community. All right. Oh, God. I'm so scared, but I kind of almost know how it's going to go. But maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. Just, oh, Ellen, don't be predisposition. Okay. So we got, let's see. Yep. All right. So let's do Flowers at the top, and we'll just see Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay. Let's check it out. Oppression. Oppression. Okay. So we've got Mark Flowers. So, well, let me sit with it. I know what's coming to my mind, but let me sit with it. Okay, so we got the Princess of Swords, which should be about news communication. Five of Cups. Queen of Swords. Victory. Oh my God. Wouldn't it be beautiful? Just some thoughts here. I know he's got the feminine, which actually, in that Queen of Swords energy there, which you almost think that would be Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? You know, trying to come in like some warrior. She ain't a warrior, though. She's not a warrior. I feel like looking at this with him kind of coming in. I know Marjorie Taylor Greene has her supporters. He's up against a lot, definitely. I look at that. One of the things here, you know, is women. Okay, you know, the oppression, the abortion issue, and things like that is a big thing. They could potentially come in strong. Now, there's still things, though, with Marjorie Taylor Greene, though, you know, like I said, you know, this whole Christian, you know, this Trump stuff. At the same time, you know, do people think she may be a little too extreme, going too far? You know, she's been getting stripped of power, you know, and stuff. He's got the victory card, so there's potential here that he can make it. He may actually get a little more women vote than believed here. Let's kind of look at that. There is hope there. There is hope. The overlapping card is a star. That is good. Let's kind of go ahead and look, though. But see, I also look at the star. He's only got a few weeks. He really needs to get out there, talk more, and things like that. Now, that could be, and maybe I should show you guys, though I'm running out of power on my iPad here, some of the debate where she's trying to say, oh, I was a victim of the insurrection, and she's still kind of holding to that whole election. She acknowledges Joe Biden as president. Oh, but, you know, my husband has proof. You know, some Republicans may be getting a little tired of hearing about that. Okay, but he does have that victory card. She could possibly lose. Now, let's see your cards, though. We're not done yet. Oh, we got that lust card. Now, this is, now, if you watch me when I interpret thought, that lust card is so opposite of any kind of Christian woman. It is the exact opposite. And of course, this whole Christian woman thing is a bunch of BS. Okay? that she wants power, lust for power, and there's all kinds of, she wants power, okay? And yes, she is a shameless woman, and where she can sit there and wax Jesus all day long and stuff, but this is who she really is, okay? Lust. She's a shameless woman, okay? And that lust for power, okay? She's, this is, you've seen it. Do I have to really explain it, why she gets a lust card, okay? And stuff, but yes, shameless woman and stuff. So that's how Spirit's, that's what Spirit's saying. She can sit there and go up and say, I'm a Christian and I love Jesus, and Spirit knows who she is, okay? So I got the change card. That's what it thinks. She technically has a seat. Change is coming. Oh man, I hope so. Maybe Spirit's fed up. Except now, the only thing, we do have that crossroads card, which can be certain people when they, that are kind of on the edge at the crossroads, should they vote for her there. So definitely there are people, and that kind of tells me, at least in this, looking at his cards too, hence that victory card, and it is in the outcome position as well, which I'm not doing a whole, I'm kind of doing a row, but I noticed it is the end card. There's some people that, okay, this is what I kind of feel is, I am a Republican, this, that, but they're not too happy with some of her weird extremism. Okay, it's just a little bit different here. Okay, so, and then we got the Eight of Pentacles here. Now, I know one of the things, the working class person, I know a lot of people are concerned with the cost of living and all that stuff. Okay, I understand that, and that's one thing, the working class person. But yeah, sorrow, suffering. Notice that we got victory above, suffering below. Just really, and what has she done for anything? Now, but I also got that patience, divine timing. I feel like, just kind of Spirit's been like, hey, be patient. I'm working on all this and everything. That we got to kind of have patience in the process and all that. But yeah, that's what Spirit's saying about her. It's right there. Shameless woman. She can sit there and play that whole Christian person, but that lust card, with Crowley. Now, Crowley loved the lust woman. Don't get me wrong. Crowley loved the lust woman. That's, that's the devil. That's kind of a devilish woman. Okay, she's shameless. And she's in the middle of a divorce, too. Which, if people want to get divorced, or whatever reason things happen, I am not going to judge her on the fact there is a divorce. Okay? But, Christians and everything, but being in the middle of a divorce right now, and stuff, is kind of a big thing. Just like even Raphael Warnock in the middle of a divorce. These, I know those things can be looked at. And like I said, I don't judge. That's why I'm saying I don't really judge her. If people want, they're not happy, they need to get divorced. These things happen. That's a natural consequence of relationships and things. But see that lust card, there could be also other people kind of looking at that, kind of look at her, that, is she really Christian? Is she really the embodiment of Christian, and everything? She's certainly not a silent woman. It's kind of funny. I just showed you, right? I said, but the change card is there, which makes me feel, at least in the sense with that victory card, that he can beat her. It is there, and I look at that star hope, getting some women vote. Like I said, the Queen of Swords is in his position, which makes me feel getting some women voting who kind of sick of this kind of stuff and everything, that he actually has some people on board. So I feel like where he's getting some more women support, believe it or not, but she's got a little bit, some of these kind of working class, kind of people and stuff, but she does have that little bit of crossroads, so a little bit of flux there. But I actually feel some people that maybe, would, maybe you have normally voted Republican. Like I said, we've got this whole women thing. Remember the oppression there and everything. And this, my nose, I'm sorry guys, it's cold in here. It could go his way with the victory card. So I actually feel she could lose this one. Let's hope that victory card is it, and Spirit's on with that, okay? Or I should really, no, Spirit's always on tarot and everything, and is saying it. Okay, so that looks good. Now we're going to look at, let's see, who is she running against? We don't even know who these people are running against because they're such big loudmouths. These ladies are loudmouths. Okay, so we've got Lauren Boebert and Adam Frisch. Hopefully I'm saying that right. and that's in Colorado. This is where she's from. She's all about her guns. She wants, yep, if we're going to bring over immigrants, they got to learn the Bible. All about the Christian nationalism. She's only 35 years old. There's some weird stuff in her history with apparently her husband many years ago, apparently to a bowling alley. This is, good Christian folks. Her husband apparently to a bowling alley flashed some young girls his dong. So look it up. It's there. And, and she's defended him on that and everything. So, but yes, apparently, may have flashed the dong in a bowling alley among some young girls. I don't know how it all went down. I don't remember, but there's a little bit with that. But she defended her man. She stood by her man. Okay, so we're gonna check it out. She's a character, and I've seen her. But she's only 35. She's really not very old. She's not very old. But she likes to display a gun on her hip, and and everything, and there it goes. Oops, look at that. The good God-fearing woman. Good God-fearing woman, Trump supporter. Loves that blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus. That's a good woman. Oh, Lord, people, Lord. Okay, so I'm going to speed these reads up for you, because I know but I felt like a lot of things need to be said. Like I said, if I would hope I get a few Republican women on here that just be like, maybe I need to think about this. Maybe I don't want my daughters and granddaughters in the street, and everything. And they're really saying this in church. Have you been to church lately, honey? yeah. And like I said, not everybody is extreme and bold as some of these people. I know they're getting news and attention, but still, there's plenty subtly even that is said all the time. There's tons of YouTube's should women preach in church, that, or even bashing or even demonizing pastors who get up there with their wives. For instance, Joel Osteen, and we got his wife Victoria. I think it's Victoria Osteen. She gets up there and talks to the congregation. There are people that give him a hard time because he lets his wife talk in church. Okay. And it's like, he shouldn't do that. And they've always, bashed on him if he's a real Christian. I think, really, to be honest, though, there are those that are jealous of Joel Osteen. Now, real quick, and I'll get to this. Let me just say, I've said some things on Joel Osteen before. I know he's got a lot of money. Okay, I know and he's not really, if people, I know there are people say, he's not really talking about Christianity. He's a little bit of definitely a prosperity gospel. And he's got a Christianity that is a lot of attraction. Okay, but let me just say this to give, and I know some people still say he's kind of a, like he didn't let people in with the hurricane, right? Whatever. He did eventually, but they were kind of, no, we can't let all the people in the church for sanctuary, but then they did later. Okay, I know there was that issue. The one thing he is at least the man's not hateful. Well, he doesn't get up there like these guys being hateful. He's not hateful about women. He's not hateful about homosexuality. Now, because I know he's Christian and he yes, whatever. But the thing he has said when Oprah has questioned him, can homosexuals go to heaven? He says yes. Which a lot of Christian, these preachers are, how they are. You know how they are. He really avoids those topics as much. Now, there are those that will press him, hoping he'll say something. He's, so he you can tell he's careful. Okay, he's careful. But when he gets up there, when he preaches, he talks, he doesn't even discuss that stuff. He doesn't discuss, he doesn't go there. And he also doesn't go there any kind of crap about women or anything. So I will say, at least Joel Osteen doesn't get up there preaching hate. I know he's got a lot of money. And he's got a mega church. He's got the biggest mega church in this country. But at least the man's not hateful. Okay? That's the only thing I'm going to say to give kudos. And yeah, his wife gets up there. His wife gets up there. Does he have a little too much money? Yeah, probably. And stuff. But, he also makes a lot of money on his books. Is one of the things. I'll tell you, let me tell a story. This is a long time ago. let me tell the story, and then I'll get to this. I don't know. I was having a desperate time. I don't know what it was. I can't remember when, but this is years and years ago. Even though I'm a spiritualist and I'm into all this stuff, but I was really down and out or something. I was struggling. I think I had, the little kids, and I was just whatever. I'm not sure how long he's had his church, but whatever reason. And I'm telling you, this is a true story. I hate to admit it, but I did it. You can call like Joel Osteen's church, and you can talk to their prayer people and ask them to pray for you. And I did. I was so I think it was around the time I was struggling, single parent mom, and I was having a real freaking hard time. And for whatever reason, I don't know why. But I was like, I'm going to call Joel Osteen's church and talk to a prayer person. I did. I fucking did. I 100% confess I did. And I got this man, very nice man, on the phone and everything. And I kind of, I said, I need somebody to pray for me. And I said, do I have to give you money? He goes, oh, you don't have to give me money. I'll pray for you. Just tell me what's... And I said, well, I've got, this going on. I'm struggling with my kids, so I'm trying to make it, and all that. I'm not getting child support, whatever. I need a better job, whatever it was, the situation. And he sat there, he said, okay, and he did his whole prayer and everything. And he said, thank you, and everything, amen. And, you have a lot, I wish you well, and everything. And that was it. But he didn't try to get any money. He didn't say I had to pay. He just basically prayed for me on the phone. He was very nice. And that was it. So, it was something I can't remember what year or why or when exactly, but I do know I made that phone call for some reason. I called his church, one of his little prayer people, and no, he said, you don't have to pay anything. So even though, yes, he makes a lot of money, this, that, his prayer people, like you've seen the telethons and all that, he's like, you don't have to give me anything. I'm like, okay. And he prayed. He prayed for me, and I sat there, and I said thank you, and that was the conversation. Okay, let's get to it. Just thought I'd share that. Okay, let's get to it. So yeah. So that's the only thing, and that's what I'm saying. At least, somebody that has that much, you can say, power and influence, among Christians, is not hateful. Confession. I called Joel Osteen's church. I was having a hard time. It was hard if I called Joel Osteen's church. Like I said, I don't remember why or something. This is way back in the day. And I just, I probably wouldn't do it again. I know maybe I would. If I said, let me call Joel Osteen again. And maybe I'll get that one nice man. But he was a very nice man. And he prayed with authority. He did. He prayed with authority. Now, I know you're wondering, did things get better? I think so. But it took a little bit, but, he put a lot of oomph into it. Let's put it that way. Okay, let's get this. Okay, so we'll save the best for last again. God. Get these two screaming banshees out of the house. Okay. So we've got, okay. So we're going to put Adam Frisch at the top. Actually, Spirit says one more shuffle. There we go. Adam Frisch at the top. Okay, 8 of Wands. The Moon. I hate the Moon when I'm trying to get to the known. Ooh, we got the Chariot, though. The Chariot is a good victory card. He's a little bit of a dark horse there. We got the Prince of Dis, and we got some Prince energy, though. He's on fire. I'm going to have to look at some of his stuff tonight. Okay, so, and then we got Lauren Boebert. Remember? Okay, we got that 2 of Wands. Some people at the crossroads. No, I did not. No, it didn't. I pulled the lust card for her ass, too. Yes, I did. You saw me do it. Yes, I did. They are twins. Oh, my Lord, have mercy. Oh, my God. Oh, my collie. Oh my Buddha. Yes. Do you see what Spirit? Shameless woman. Spirit's calling him out. Spirit is calling him out. These ain't Christian women. They're shameless women. They get the lust card. Both ladies got the lust card. And they both got the crossroad card too. They both got the crossroad and the lust card, which makes me feel that there are those, okay, wow. There are those that are kind of on the fence here. They're like, should we do this? Should we, they both got the lust card. Oh, shit. Oh, Spirit, Spirit's talking. Spirit's calling out. Okay, all right. Oh my God, I think I blew out one of my ears. I did not mean to get that loud, guys. Okay, so we do got the Three of Pentacles. Hold on. But we do got the Ace of Wands here, so hold on. It's not over yet. And everything. Oh, and the Devil! We got... she gets the Devil! Oh, damn, Spirit's calling out. Woo! And she's all talking about Christian Dash. See, this is who these people are, guys. This is who these people are. Satan poses as an angel of light. This is what I'm trying to tell you. These people, Christian nationalism, that is dark. Okay? Is dark. That's the way it is. And see, what I'm hoping some of this read is saying is that there's got to be some just, regular, maybe they're Christian people, just regular Christian people that are seeing these ladies for who they are. Okay? And hopefully they're reading the writing on the wall here. And this is a big, strong message that I'm trying to get to you guys tonight. And I know those that, like I said, if you're on a path like me, especially if you're a Democrat, all that, you know it. Okay? But still, and that's fine if you know it, but I want, especially, if there's any kind of Christians watching this or anything, that they know it, especially. They need to know it. Okay, who these people are. This whole conspiracy theory stuff and everything that they're all about. Okay, this ugliness and stuff. And they know. Or do do they really believe it? Let me just pull. I'm going to pull separate from the layout. Do these ladies really believe this QAnon stuff, or are they just perpetuating it? Let me just kind of sit there. Okay, so that's kind of a hard one to determine. I've got the Strength card, and then I've also got the Four of Wands. Now, I do Four of Wands, which is completion. So the good thing, a little, 4 years here, a completion. I'm hoping Spirit is saying, I'm done with these ladies. We're going to complete these terms. Let's hope so. But also, kind of that Strength card, and that they may kind of fuel with that, and then that Queen of Wands energy. As I'm kind of I'm focusing on both of them, and everything. So, and they definitely try to come in very dominant force, energy, women. I do look at that completion. Spirit, this kind of makes me feel, and of course I know it, that Spirit would like to wrap up some of this negativity, like we talked about kind of McCain, and how that was, and it was a different time, and a different age, at a different day, and the way things should be, but still, we are in a free will universe. I always let you guys know that. That is very important. Spirit is feeling it out and seeing how are we going to vote, how we, and stuff like that. Okay, so anyway, so far, looking on here, though, there is an opportunity wand here. Okay, but he does have that Chariot energy. Let me just kind of look here. This is a tough one. He does have, now this is a tough one because we do have the Chariot, but we also have utility. So that's, Chariot is victory, but there is a futility here. And so this is a little tougher one. This makes me feel there's still a little fluidity there in determining the one for Lauren. A little bit of fluidity there. Because she does, the Ace of Wands can be a very strong ace. Which the Chariot is so powerful with victory, but the Ace of Wands is a very strong ace. And I also look at the Two of Wands here. That still, she could still, even though there's people on the fence that could go this road here and stuff like that. And I also know the Moon is still, there's still a little unknown energy there. that there. So this kind of makes me feel, at least in Colorado energy, there is still some undecided people because of that moon energy, and stuff, and I'm hoping futility. I would not, it's not a defeat. It's not a defeat, but it's kind of a mixed bag there, but the Chariot, I know, is a major arcana. He has a good chance to win. I feel more people knowing who she is. He's got a lot of fire and energy for it, but this devil energy, I feel it's definitely coming. Okay, notice, remember, this is kind of at the end energy, like say if she got in there, especially, here it comes. Okay, we can't have these people going in there. All right, I'm just going to look at just one kind of cross in there. Fortune, which can be expanded, ruin. Okay, so he does have the ruin card. This is kind of a challenge here. A lot of it, she's going to try to ruin reputation, probably do that whole, devil, Democrat, all that stuff. This is kind of a tough one. The people of Colorado, are they this dumb? There's still a little fluidity here, but he's got, with a 10 and a 7, she could possibly win this. I know he's got the Chariot. But at the same time, with those kind of it's like almost, he's kind of almost there, but at the same time, and then she got that Wheel of Fortune, which also can be a message of expansion. Okay, they definitely want to expand Christian nationalism. Now let me go ahead and see how Laura Boebert, I can't even say that name. I always want to think of her as Lorena Boebert. Anybody remember that case? Okay, and stop. Okay. Who was leading in the polls with Lauren Boebert and Adam Frisk? Hold on a second. Or it's Frisch? Maybe I said it wrong. Yeah, he's definitely got a let's defeat Lauren Boebert. Yeah, it's a dead heat as of October 3rd. That's probably why this one is a little tough. It's right there, and that's Colorado politics. Let's go ahead and look at that one real quick. Lauren Boebert in statistical dead heat would challenge. That's probably so. This one, it feels a little flux. This is a tough one, and that's why I'm probably struggling. Marjorie Taylor Greene actually looks like can lose. Okay, so Georgia may come in strong with this. She actually, which I'm kind of surprised because that little area, they like her. Okay, but something is changing. So let's look at this article. No wonder this is kind of a flux. So I think what it is that it's saying with that futility and that Ten of Swords energy, I mean, they're definitely going to go in damage control, just try to ruin this dude. Okay, will they accomplish it? And which, of course, that's what these guys do. They sling mud. Oh, hold on. Be quiet. Hold on. Where is all? Oh. Okay. Here we go. Let's look at it. The Democrat, the glasses, sorry. The Democrat running to unseat U.S. Rep. Lauren Boebert has pulled within 2% points of the Republican incumbent in Colorado's 3rd Congressional District, putting the candidates in a statistical tie only weeks before voting begins in the state, according to an international release Tuesday by Boebert's challenger. Okay, so see, she, right now, obviously she's there. She's the one with the seat, and he's trying to unseat her. So still, though, some are going to creep to his side. Some, but we need quite a few. Okay. The poll of likely voters conducted for former Aspen City Councilman Adam Frisch, campaigned by Kitty Research, Okay, so found Boebert leading Frisch 47-45, within the polls 4.4 percentage point margin of error. Another 7% were undecided. So we've got 7% undecided is still a good chunk. That makes sense why even a few weeks before, some people are undecided. That makes sense why there's the moon in there, especially in his layout. The results mark a 5-point shift in Frisk's direction since a July survey conducted. So he's going up there since July. A survey conducted where Boebert was ahead 49% 42, with 9% undecided. So it's going up in his favor a little bit. Pollsters say the biggest movement since the July poll has been among the Republican-leaning districts, unaffiliated voters who supported Frisch by an 8-point margin 2 months ago, but preferred the Democrat by a 25-point margin in the most recent survey. Unaffiliated voters, who make up 40% of the district's active registered voters at 37%. Okay. Boebert's favorability rating has dropped too, the poll found, with 47% viewing the incumbent favorably and 49% unfavorably. Okay, so this... As 4% of voters say they're unfamiliar with her. The majority of people know who she is, of course. She's a loudmouth. Among unaffiliated voters, Boebert is viewed favorably by 35%, unfavorably by 62%, and so forth. So, and then Frisch, a wealthy businessman who casts himself as a moderate. I see if he comes in moderate, that can be helpful. It is viewed favorably by 38, and okay, we got that. Here we go. Do the voters who know you like you? Keating said during a remote press conference. That's the thing that I look at for a candidate that can win is likability. He's basically doubled his name ID and voters like him, so down the stretch it's going to get better too. So he's getting there. So this is the thing. I feel like Boebert, and Boebert's campaign didn't even want to comment on this, on the ColoradoPolitics.com site. That's interesting. They don't even want to comment. And a spokeswoman for the National Republican Congressional Committee, however, told Colorado Politics that the poll doesn't represent the reality they're seeing. That's what she's saying. And then she says, and this is a Republican woman, somebody unnamed apparently, Democrats have attacked Colorado's oil and gas industry and destroyed the American economy, is what they're saying. And I know that's what they're... Now, one of the things you got to understand, guys... Oh, here, hold on. The suggestion that the outspoken Boebert, a powerhouse fundraiser, yes, she is, and one of the most prominent and avidly conservative members of Congress, could be in danger of losing her bid for a second term, runs contrary to the partisan lean in the district voters, also goes against the verdict in most national election forecasters, who consider the seat safely Republican hands. Not necessarily. It's very flux. So, I was about to say something, now I lost my train of thought because I wanted to read that. Hold on. Oh, yes, what I wanted to say real quick, and I know, you know, sometimes Americans can kind of look mainly here and not necessarily at the world is the problem. What people need to understand is that a lot of the problems that are happening, gas prices, inflation, cost of living, all that is happening all over the planet. It's not just a Biden thing. It's not a Democrat thing. It is a global thing, and it has a lot to do with like the P word in the R place and a lot of other things. Now, we got a lot of problems. We keep printing money, right? Okay, and buying stuff, and you know, there's a whole thing I could talk about that too. There's a lot of stuff we need to get our act together on. But you know, if anything, our gas prices are lower than other places a lot. Our cost of, like, say, utilities, the problem with the power and the utilities, what people, you know, are, they may not even have heat in the winter, you know, especially Germany and other places, you know, are suffering. We're actually doing better, believe it or not, than a lot of other places in the world. And so, and I'm not talking about just, you know, like little poor villages somewhere in Africa. I mean, I'm talking about Europe. Okay, Europe is having, there's a whole lot, and it would get... I would get very real long if I started talking about all that. So this is not necessarily a Biden thing, okay? You know, I'm not saying, you know, I know we have to handle things better. Like, for instance, you know, I know we want to protect our land, and I know we want to care about climate change, but we need to use our own oil. We need to be oil dependent on ourselves, okay? And that's what, and I know there are people that can say something. We need to be dependent on our own oil. Okay, you know, and this whole thing, you know, there's this whole thing with Biden. Recently, the Saudis are going to cut back, you know, on all this oil, and he's upset about it. Get our own oil. We've got our own oil. It's here. We need to get our own oil. That's the bottom line. And I know there's a whole global thing and stuff. I get it, but we need to be dependent on our own oil. We have enough. We have enough, and we still have, technically, we're still ahead, though we're close to China, the best economy probably in the world and stuff. And I know but China's got also a lot of problems. These people can't even get money out of the bank, okay, and stuff. And then the COVID restriction, you think we had it bad? Look over there. There's a whole lot. And so, if anything, that's what people need to understand, is that, and I'm not saying, there's still a lot of the good things that Biden's done that they ain't talking about. Okay, there's still a lot of things, but I know everybody says inflation and food is expensive. I understand that, but it's not all about Biden and Democrats. Look around the world. It's a global problem. The food prices, the gas prices, and a lot of the reason why your groceries are expensive is because of the truckers, because they got to pay extraordinary amounts of diesel. Like, for instance, Walmart, diesel trucks to ship, all that stuff. And they're having to pay extraordinary amounts, okay, for the fuel and stuff, because trucking is a massive thing to get to the food, right? So the prices go up. Okay, that's part of it. And then, of course, other reasons as well, export and all that stuff. So anyway, so just remember, no matter what, I know people say, maybe if we get Republicans in, that'll fix the problem. Honey, it's a global problem, though. It is a global problem. It is not just a Democrat or Biden problem. Okay, it's not the inflation issue. And like I said, should we become oil dependent? Should we drill for our oil? I know we don't want to, tear up the land. I get it, but we have to be oil dependent until maybe we go all electric cars, which right now is not reasonable for a lot of people, because not everybody can afford an electric car. And if your battery goes dead, not everybody has $30,000 to pull out of the bank to buy a new one. Okay, there's a whole lot, right? I get it. So, with all that said, just remember when you go to vote, and it's like you're upset about inflation, or you're upset about, and hey, when I look at my grocery bill, I want to puke. Sometimes it's so expensive. And so just the other day, a bag of chips, maybe a family size lay chips, and they want $6 and something for it. And I'm just, hell with it. No chips, I guess. Things, grapes, I got a thing of grapes. It costs about $8, it's a very expensive. I know. Chicken is ridiculous. And it's so much more expensive than before. So just remember, it's not just a Biden thing. It's not just a Democrat thing. It's a global thing. Read the news. Look what's going on. Look at Europe. Okay. And you will, and the P word, okay, in the R place has messed up a whole lot of stuff. Okay. And I know there's other factors too, but that's a major part of it. So when Biden says a lot of it is their fault, it is. Okay, it is. There's a whole lot that it's a ripple effect. It's a domino effect. Okay, that is happening. And it's like we got this chain of dominoes, and it's like we're trying to pull dominoes out of the way so everything else doesn't fall over, right? And so, but the solution, have Christian nationalism, it's not, and while I know that Republicans can be conservative about, certain things with, too much government or taxes, but if anything, Biden's been lowering taxes and trying to up it for the rich, right? Give more taxes, for the rich, and, anyway, there's a whole lot I could say, but just understand it's a global problem. Don't think it's only America here. Oh, inflation in America, inflation in the world. It's everywhere. Okay, and a lot of it is, there's a whole lot of factors involved. And should we pay attention? Like, I know there's a whole lot of people, should money be in the bank? Why did the Vatican tell, the Pope order that everybody pull out their money out of all the banks in all the world and put it in only the Vatican bank? And there was a call to do it quick. I know, there's, pay attention, guys. Yeah, sure. And everything, we want to kind of be careful. Because, obviously there's places, China's having a problem. People can't take money out of the bank. And what's that? Oh, God, that other country. People can't get money out of the bank. Everybody's, it's all kind of stuff happening all over the world. But we are actually doing better than a lot of places in the world, especially Europe. Believe it or not. It's bad, but it ain't that bad. Okay, so just kind of remember that, guys, and just kind of sit with it. So this, like I said, this one's kind of hard. This is still a little bit in flux. It's like there's a chariot, but then there's also that ruin. So it looks like what I feel that their campaign is going to really try to, get nasty. Okay, is what I kind of feel, and stuff. So it's still very fluxy. If I had to call it at the moment, though, right now, she would probably win. Like, if people voted right this second, she would probably win. Okay, I'm just saying, because also that I know that Wheel of Fortune can be an expansion. She also, Wheel of Fortune has got people funding her. And also, even that Three of Pentacles, which is kind of hidden under here, okay, she's got, alliances. Okay, she's got alliances. And she does have, obviously, there are people who want Christian nationalism, which I'm trying, but they both got the shameless woman. They both, ladies, got the same lust card. They are cut from the same cloth, is what Spirit's saying. It's all deception. It's all an illusion. She got the devil card. Spirit even threw the devil with this one. And so made it even worse. She probably is worse than Marjorie Taylor Greene, if you ever listen to her. They're very similar, but she is almost a little worse. Have immigration but you got to pass a Bible test. You better watch out, because people they might know the Bible better than you do, my hun. Okay, they probably know it better than you. Okay, so hopefully you found this interesting. This is not just a midterms read, but this is a major warning. I really try to warn you guys, and I know. Be ye not afraid, no matter what. We're not going to walk around in fear, but we do need to be eyes wide open. Definitely do your prayers and everything like that, but you need to know what's happening in the churches. You need to know what people are saying, that this is a real phenomenon, and that this is happening. Okay, and these ladies are so dumb that if all this happened, they would be kicked out, and it'd be all white men in the House and Senate. 100%. They would have no power. Okay, they wouldn't be... Honey, do you think that a man's gonna let you own a gun? A woman? You think you're packing now? You think you're gonna own one in the future? No. No, Marjorie. No, Lauren. They're gonna take away your gun. I promise you. If Christian nationalism became the way of power. I hope you guys enjoyed my little talk and midterms.